All right, guys. So my name is Coach Jenny. I feel like you probably know that, but if you're watching this replay, you might not. The people that are here, I feel like know that. And today I wanted to just do a very quick live stream about what to expect and what the heck is going to actually happen at No Matter What. I'm getting a few questions from people who have bought tickets, who have not bought tickets, and I just want to kind of give you the who, what, when, where, why, and how of what you can expect at No Matter What. You down? Sound good? Okay, so interrupt me as I go. I'm going to go through this kind of quickly. First of all, I want to introduce Carrie Nicholson. You see Carrie Nicholson here. She is the project manager on No Matter What. She's the one that's been holding my hand and my hair since January as we've been developing this event. And so she is going to be our co-host. Feel free to post in the chat and she'll be chatting with you on the chat. I'm not paying attention to the chat right now, but I promise I will get back. Yes, this is in fact live, Francis. You're actually hearing a real human right now. But if you're watching this on the replay, I'm not live anymore and I still love you. Okay, so who, what, when, where, why, and how, because that was the most organized way I could come up with explaining this thing. So who is this event for? It is for impatient, ambitious change makers who are really ready to step into the impact that you know you're meant to create, right? So people who feel that, you know, I know I'm meant to do something really cool. I know I have a ton of potential and I'm very ambitious. I've always been very ambitious, but now on top of that, I'm just feeling impatient. Someday is not soon enough. I'm tired of waiting. I want this yesterday, if not sooner. Does that sound like you guys? Yeah, pretty much. The what, which is obvious, but whatever, is a 2-day coaching intensive with me to craft and commit to your no matter what plan to change the world. Wow, that's a heavy sentence. But at this event, we are going to, as the tagline says, we're going to want more, do more, and be more. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment. The when is important. When I decided to have this event back in January, it was January, right? I don't even know, you know, back before the world exploded, I was having this event here in Los Angeles. And when you have an event in Los Angeles, everybody's in Los Angeles and we all have the same clock. Now we're having this event virtually and we have different clocks. So here are the time zones that you need to know about. I will open up the Zoom room about a half hour early before each of these time zones, just so you know, before each of these start times, so that we can kind of get started on the top of the hour sharp. But for Pacific time people, I think that's me and Rebecca, it's going to be 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the hours of the event. For the Mountain Time folks, what is that? Amanda, Ryan, Carrie, yeah? Oh, and Desiree's with Pacific. Sorry, Desiree. It is 9 to 3 p.m. Mountain Time. For Central folks, it's going to be 10 to 4. For Eastern Time, 11 to 5. And for Maria, it will be 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. And we would love to have you. So like, if you want to sip wine while we're sipping coffee, we will sort it out. That's how it'll roll. Also part of the when is, this is Thursday, June 25th and Friday, June 26th. Those are the different 6-hour times that we're going to have the top and bottom of it. There will be plenty of breakouts and plenty of breathers in there to make sure that you have a breather. So I don't want you to get stuck on that. And also, there's a pre-event private coaching session with me that each participant is welcome to have. It's totally optional, but it's a quick 30-minute call. Arlene and I had ours last week. It was fantastic. It's a quick 30-minute call with me to just get a sense of where you're at. This is not an event that you're coming to where I'm going to be standing on a stage speaking at you. It's an intensive coaching experience. And so I want to get updated on what you're currently working on and ask you a few questions that are none of my freaking business so that I am ready to coach you live and in the moment, as well as make sure I know what is appropriate to bring up in front of the group. I will ask your permission. Can I share this in that coaching moment? Will this be okay to bring this up? And you have the right to say, no, I prefer that to be a private conversation. So we're going to make sure that we're managing your confidentiality as best we can, understanding that I'm also going to be asking for confidentiality and trusting that the community will provide that as well. Where is the event going to be? It's going to be here on Zoom, which is why this is a Zoom as well. We're going to be doing lots of breakouts. Who here has done a breakout session on Zoom before? Anybody? Couple of you. It's kind of weird and quirky. So if you guys are game, we can even play with it a little bit after I quit this recording so you can see what that looks like. But you literally just push a button. I assign you to a room and you go into another Zoom room and then you come back to the main room. It's pretty cool. So it will mimic the experience that I had designed in my mind for Los Angeles. And then why? This is because I believe you're eager to impact the world in wild and wonderful ways. And the world needs you right now, more than ever, way more than I anticipated when I came up with this idea in the first place. Now, the big question is the how. How is this different from anything else I've provided before? Looking around this room, I've worked with you in lots of different ways. Some of you I haven't worked with that much. Some of you I've worked with intensively. It's all over the map. But for the most part, a lot of people know about me as the woman who teaches you how to get out of your own way. And getting out of your own way is all about addressing all of your self-sabotaging habits that keep you from really challenging yourself to go out and tap into your potential. And once you know, we all know that getting out of your own way is not some one and done experience. You know, you go, you take a course or you take a program with me and I'm no longer self-sabotaging for the rest of my life. It doesn't work that way, or I'd be a lot richer. But the truth is that it's iterative. That said, no matter what is not get out of your own way, it's building on that idea that you have these new tools, you have these ways of getting out of your own way, but now what? Now that you're not sabotaging yourself anymore, or at least you have the tools to address the next time you sabotage yourself, how are you going to scrape out more potential and really dig into what you can do with all that greatness? How are you going to take that potential for a spin and make the impact that you know you really want to make? So at No Matter What, you're going to step into that as in that moment. This isn't going to be a 2-day course where you're taking a bunch of notes to learn how to do something on your own after we're done. This is going to be a 2-day intensive coaching experience. You're going to be talking to each other, talking with me, talking in front of each other, working on your own in the moment in these 2 days to really step into wanting more and claiming more, stepping into doing more, not from a, I want to be more productive, but actually doing more, making more of an impact, and then being more, seeing what you're really made of, if you will. So this is really meant to be the next step after getting out of your own way, is to really make that commitment to doing this no matter what. And that language really raises the stakes. Am I right? It's one thing to say, I have a plan. And at this event, I'm going to teach you a method and we're going to build that plan of how changing the world, what it looks like for you in the next 6 months. We're going to make that plan. But more importantly, we're going to commit to that plan at a no matter what level. I'm doing this no matter what. And again, as somebody who's hosting an event called No Matter What during 2020, I know the stakes of that, right? Saying I'm going to do this no matter what the world throws at me means there's a lot of juggling that we have to do. And I want to prepare you for that and arm you with all the tools that you need. So this is building on, if you've worked with me, some foundational work that we've done before. And if you haven't worked with me in a while and you're thinking, yeah, but I'm not up to speed, that's okay. I'm going to bring you up to speed very, very quickly. But it's building on that and then taking it to a 2.0 and 3.0 and even 4.0 level so that you really are getting that deep experience. So you're going to walk away having at long last finally stepped into being the change maker you know you can be. And you're going to be able to not just follow through with a plan, but you're going to shift it from someday and optional to inevitable. So that is how this is really different. I'm not going to be teaching you, yes, we're going to be talking about Hilda. Everybody knows about Hilda. Hilda's going to be all over this thing. We're going to have to deal with her at every turn. But this is not Hilda 101, right? This is not what this is. And originally this was called HildaCon as a nickname. This is also not HildaCon, although I still think that nickname is really fun. We're going to be talking about Hilda, but more importantly, we're going to be making these commitments. So at this point, I'm going to shut up and ask, are there any questions that you guys have or comments or thoughts? The floor is open.
Plus swag.
Plus swag. I know. The swag's over there. I'm not. Yeah, there's swag. Thank you. What that's going to be is you're going to get a workbook that we're going to be working through together. Many of you have had my workbooks before. They've always arrived as a PDF that you had to print. These are going to arrive in the mail. I'm very excited about this with some extra swag. I know, right? It's special. If you came to LA for my live experience, I would hand you something. The only difference is you don't need a name tag. Your name tag is right. So yes, thank you for that. There's a question on the side saying, who is Hilda? I can address that for you very quickly. Hilda is the name I give to the voice in the back of your head who says you suck. She's the inner critic, and we talk about her quite a bit. So if you're interested, Francis, in checking this out, we can tell you more about Hilda so you're up to speed before the event. Okay, any questions? You guys are way too polite. Not yet. Yes, Maria. Finds mute button. One moment, please. There you go.
If only I could use a mouse, that'd be dangerous, honestly. And so I do have a few questions. I haven't worked with you before. Jenny, you saw, probably I was the one standing out. I think probably Francis hasn't. We can't see her. Everyone had their hands up. I haven't worked with you before, but I've been a big fan for a long time. So can you just expand a little bit when you say there is no need for me to have worked with you in order for this to be beneficial? Will it be beneficial for me in the same way as if I had worked with you, or is it wiser for me to go a step back, do my homework, and then grow into this?
Fabulous question. I'm really glad you asked that. This is a standalone experience. Right? No matter what is designed and built, all of my programs are designed and built to be standalone experiences. This doesn't have a prerequisite to it. Some people will come and have a lot of history with me, a lot of history with my language. And they might say something that won't make sense. I don't know, Amanda might say, well, you know, when I don't know Hilda and I don't want to Hilda get in cahoots, then I puddle jump all over my cathartic shove, and you'll be like, what the hell did she just say? And the other half of the room will know what she says. I will explain it to you. I will pause and make that English, I promise. But no, this is a standalone experience that you don't have to have any prerequisite work. You're going to show up and be on the same page within 30 minutes. So you won't feel left out and you'll feel part of the community. That said, it's a group coaching experience, and you're going to have time with each other, but it's also an individual experience. At its core, I want to coach each of you. I want you to have your individual experience, walking away with your no matter what plan that you're really ramped up and excited for.
And you do get that 30 minutes prior to chat with Jenny and yeah.
Yeah, the 30-minute chat prior also helps us get on the same page as well. So anything that you feel like, ooh, I want to kind of shore that up, I want to know. And also, by the way, that crazy language I was just talking about, I have a 6-minute video that brings you up to speed on that as well. Because we do have a quirky language, like any self-help group of people, right? It's a thing. Maria, you had another question? One moment, please.
Yes, sorry. I was just reading through my scribbles. So you normally do these events face to face, right?
This is the first ever. And it was designed to be a face-to-face, but this is the first ever no matter what. It's not my first ever event, but it is my first ever no matter what event. So one of the things about this event that's really exciting is that you will be watching me build the plane while I'm flying it. I have been working on this for a very long time, but this is the first event. So you are coming in and being founders and OGs of the no matter what experience.
Okay, okay. It sounds really exciting. So I've looked at some of the other things that you offer, and although you and I haven't worked together, you know me from another program that we are sort of crossing paths. How apt do you think this is for me with what you know about me?
Absolutely. So Maria and I are both in a course together with a colleague of mine named Wendy. Wendy is coming to No Matter What, and No Matter What happens to be after her 8-week program ends. So we may have coordinated the timing of this. No Matter What is going to help you make sure that everything you've learned there actually gets implemented. But it's also making sure anything that you've learned anywhere actually gets implemented. Whether that's you've read a self-help book recently, or you've read a business book recently, or you've read a career book recently, or you've just been working on something yourself. Yeah, this is going to help you do that. This is not exclusively, though, for entrepreneurs. There are about half of the registrants right now who are not entrepreneurs, who are working on something in their professional lives. This is also working on our personal lives. In fact, there's a couple people that are attending this event, Christy and Carol, who have been on my ass to make sure I get on the Peloton more. So there's also that kind of piece. So this is coaching the entire person. And so that's why that 30-minute call ahead of time is so important. So I can make sure I know what your goals are, but also push you a little bit to say, okay, this is what else we could talk about and work on in these 2 days together. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to read, Amanda said that I met Jenny in March 2019 and was up to speed after one group call with her. And the people who know Jenny and her language are some of the kindest, most supportive people who want to welcome you to the community. So that's super awesome. And then Francis had a question. You want me to read it?
Please.
Okay. But first, thank you so much for that, Amanda, and I totally agree.
Thank you, Amanda.
Francis asks, please give an example of how you work and what we can expect to gain by your coaching. Is it geared towards entrepreneurial ventures or self-improvement, which you did kind of answer, but maybe clarify a bit more.
Good question. So at my core, I'm an inner critic expert, right? I'm not a business coach. I'm not a life coach. I call myself an inner critic expert, mostly because business coach and life coach are the most overused terms that almost don't mean anything anymore. Apologies to all my coaching friends. But what I help people with and my coaching style is to give you what we call a cathartic shove. Who here has been the recipient of a cathartic shove or two? So cathartic shove is when I push you before you're ready for it, to really push you, not just outside of your comfort zone, but to push your thinking, to push your bravery, to really make you think and dig deep into what is possible for you. And to really also push you past all of the things that you're holding yourself back and analyzing and looking at why those costs and the things it's costing you is no longer good enough. But my shoves are loving and lovely. They're not actually violent, and they should feel cathartic on the other end, right? You feel like this really quick sense of catharsis, which allows you to really dig in and do even more. So my coaching style is exactly that. I'm a little in your face, in your space. I use a lot of humor. We have a cartoon character named Hilda and Barbra Streisand records behind me. I do not take myself very seriously, but I do take your dreams seriously. And so this work is going to give you a way to really make those dreams move forward. Not someday, but literally now. We're going to step into it and say, okay, how can we make the most out of the rest of 2020 and make some massive headway, really move the needle on the things that you're looking to create and do and change. I hope that answers your question.
I think she had a follow-up question. Does this lead to ongoing coaching packages or how?
That's a fair question. So a few of you, and I've gotten this question from a couple of people. I know Amanda had this question. Okay, so I come to No Matter What, then what? That's Amanda, by the way. That's how she rolls. Okay, I do this, and then what? I do this, and then what? And I love that about you. So after No Matter What, I am going to have a mastermind called All In. And I can tell anybody about that that's interested. But All In is really about, okay, so I've come up with this plan. After you have your No Matter What plan, good luck, Godspeed, make it happen. I'm here to cheer you on. I want you to have that. But if you want additional support, I have a 6-month experience that will be coming after that. I can tell you more about that, but that's not what I'm here to sell today. But it will be a 6-month experience, but it's also capped at 10 people. So it really is that small, intimate mastermind experience. No Matter What is not capped at 10 people. So. Other questions before we go off the record and you ask your other questions, because I'm on to you people. One of the questions I've gotten a couple times, and I just want to address for the replay, is 6 hours in front of the camera. What if I have to pee? What if I have a kid that needs my attention? What if I have a call during that time? I need to step away. So here's what I'm saying to that. It's just like if you were at my live experience. If you were at a live experience here with me in LA, which hopefully, knock on wood, Carrie, that will happen next year, yes. If you were there, then you wouldn't like stand up in the middle of it and say, excuse me, Jenny, I have to step out and make this call. I just want to tell everybody. You would just discreetly step out of the room and go into the hallway. So we're going to use that same exact philosophy. This is a Zoom call. It will be on camera. And as much as humanly possible, I want you to be there and on camera. But when you step away, there's going to be kind of a protocol, for lack of a better word, so we know you've stepped away, so I don't send you to a paired breakout room and that person's all by themselves, right? So we're going to manage that. But I know you have lives. I know things are going on. There's a pandemic right now. There's a lot of people still homeschooling children. There's a lot of different things happening. And so you're not going to be locked in your seat for 6 hours or something hideous like that. So I wanted to address that as well. Cool. Questions?
And we will have lunch breaks too.
Yes, I don't know if I'll call them lunch breaks because I mean,
Well,
it'll
yeah.
be at like 8 p.m. Maria time, and so that would be kind of weird, and 10 o'clock my time. So we're going to manage the time zone differences as best we can. But yes, there will be plenty of breaks and breathers. We will not be staring at the screen the entire time. Oh, Rebecca, I see Rebecca's question. What if I don't know exactly what I want to work on yet? Do I need to have that figured out before the event, or will the pre-event coaching call help define that? Great question, Rebecca. It is completely okay. You don't need to have something that you're walking in to work on. I've got you. But that pre-event call is going to help us get on the same page, so I know specifically kind of updated on what you've got going on, and whether or not you're showing up mostly with professional goals in mind, professional change making in mind, or if it's more you want to dig into be more and just stepping into your greatness as a human. I want to know those things, because as I'm choreographing all of the different coaching opportunities, I'm going to be thinking through, okay, well, you know, I'm making this up. Rebecca, she had more of a be more topic that she wanted to discuss. So in that moment, I want to do a little hot seat coaching with Rebecca. And Arlene has something that's a little more professional that I think fits into the do more. And so during that time, I want to make sure that we highlight Arlene, things like that. So that's what I'm looking at for that piece. You can also come in completely cold and just feel like I want to grow as a human. And that is perfectly acceptable. I know everybody's got a ton on their plate. So don't feel like in order to get the most out of this, I got to do a bunch of pre-work and a bunch of post-work. Just showing up for these 2 days is going to rock your socks, I promise. Does that answer your question, Rebecca? Sweet. All right, so I've gone on for almost 30 minutes. If there's any other quick questions you think I should record? No? So the cart closes on Thursday at midnight my time. And so it's $450 US to participate in No Matter What. And if you want to learn more about it, go to nomatterwhatevent.com. I'll post that below in this email, which sounds weird to the people that are actually here because we're not in an email, but whatever. And I'm really, really excited to see each and every one of you there. I also, if I can be corny for a moment, I want to thank Carrie again for helping me make this dream of mine happen. And I want to thank each of you for deciding to be part of this experience. It's been a dream of mine for a very, very long time to figure out, how do I host an event that's, you know, like Tony Robbins, except not like Tony Robbins at all. You know, how do I have the Coach Jenny version of that thing? And what does that look like? And why would that matter to you? And that's what I've been able to build. And I so appreciate the people who are willing to be there for the very first one. Note, I'm all about the founders. I'm all about the OGs. And so being part of the very first one will be special for years to come. And this event will be something, we've designed it to be something that you'll want to do again and again and be part of, because this is the movement I'm creating. I'm helping you make your dream happen no matter what. And that makes my dream happen too. So thank you for being amazing. And with that, I'm going to stop recording. Thank you for listening.